Welcome to Yeshiva Daf, Shir sponsor Lui Nishmas, I'm Yaakov Shalom, Nabas Yitzchok. We're holding the Metzia Daf Lamites. We got the last daf a few lines down in the Amud. It says the Gemara, Umay Shno Me'at. That's about 13 lines on the top. The Gemara said that told us that in the case that you have a shavui, someone is being captured. So the shaila is, can you have a korav going into his nechasim or not? It said the Gemara, it's a machlekes amoroim and machlekes tanoim. And in addition, we said, even according to Mandamar, Rishon Galil, it says that you allow a korav to go into the property of a shavui, he gets like a oris, like a sharecropper. So the Gemara, what's the difference between this and what we learn? Someone a husband, who spends money on the property of his wife. He spent a lot, but he ate a little. Or he spent a little and ate a lot. We don't do cheshbonos of a sharecropper. Whatever he ate, and whatever he spent, and there's no calculation. So the Gemara answer, it's not exactly the same thing. Because a husband or the wife, he's confident that this is his. He has nichsegulug, he has the land, he has the fruits, while the wife has the land. It's not the same thing like in our case. Our case is more similar to the following case. One spends money on a child, on his wife who is less than the age of 12, that was married by her mother or brother. She could do miyun, she could get out of the marriage whenever she wants, or at least until the age of 12. So as if he's spending money on somebody else. Because he's not confident. You could go and spend in order for him not to lose it. So here we're doing at the corner for him not to lose it. So you see, so in a case, a nichse of a shavui, I said before nichse, a nichse of a shavui, when you have a shavui shemes, you allow him to go in and spend money and enjoy the benefit of the karka. Why? Because he doesn't know. Maybe the car will come back and he's going to lose everything. So that's why we allow him to go. So according to Mandama that I say the car can go in, we do allow him to go in with no cheshbonos, like we say by a husband who is going into a wife who's a ketana. Because in both cases, he doesn't know, he doesn't have reliance for sure it's his. So you need to let him to have benefits in order for him not to ruin the field. Something more of a kulam shankars, we mentioned before that we pay him like a sharecropper. But we said the chulam mishpash was saying, many cases we do like a sharecropper. The kulam lasui mai, what is it coming to add? Which other cases? It says more lasui adom avnachon mashmuel. It's coming to add the case of Nachman mashmuel. Shavui shenishbo, you have one that was captured. Muridim karov lenechosov. Like we said before, you allow karov to go in. Yotzo ledas, but if he left willingly, ein muridim karov lenechosov. You don't allow karov to go in. From Nachman Dideo, Nachman himself said, "Boireach areu kishover." We're coming down as the case of boireach. Someone who runs away is like someone who was captured. Boireach machmas mai. Why is he running away? Meaning he doesn't want to pay taxes. He's not under pressure. He is not so scared, and therefore he should give instructions what to do. And if he doesn't give instructions, that indicates he doesn't want anybody to go into his field. He's running because he murdered somebody. Rashi brings that the Parsim, they kill anybody who was chayav for murder. So he is under a lot of pressure. He runs away. He doesn't have the mindset to go and appoint someone to go into his field. So therefore, we send somebody on his behalf. There's someone who's captured. He leaves his field, needs to be harvested. Grapes that need to be cut. Or dates that need to be cut off. Zeisim limsuk, or olives to cut. All these are lishins of different types of fruits. All kinds of harvest. Based in Yordim L'Chosim, based in going to the Chosim, Umamidim apotropos. Here we see apotropos. They appoint somebody to do this malacha. The koitzer uboitzer the goyder moisek. He does the harvest. Then they put a korov to take care of the field. So the more we look at apotropos, why don't you put apotropos forever? Apotropos ledikroni lo mukbin. We don't put apotropos for an old person. So the way the Rishonim say over here, the reason is why, because an apotropos is someone who's doing a ma'aseh chesed. People are willing to do chesed for children. They feel bad for them. For adults, nobody wants to do it. So we can never find apotropos to be there forever. So for a temporary thing, just to do the harvest, you do find apotropos. But once you do that, then afterwards you have to give it to Yechez Korban. This goes back to Rishonim we mentioned the previous daf. The Rishonim said, why do we do Korban not somebody else? Because the Korban will be Yovish. What about apotropos? You see apotropos, you see from the more clearly. Apotropos, we don't put apotropos. Apotropos means someone who's appointed by Beis Din to take care of fields. That is not easy to find, and we don't do it. So we're not talking about apotropos, we're talking about someone who's going to take over the field and take it as a sharecropper. We prefer to give it to a korov, to a relative, because if the shovi will die, the korov will inherit it. Says the Gemara, we don't allow a child to go to Yechez Shavu. Or if the child was captured, he's in captivity, we don't let a relative go into a nechos that belongs to a koton. You don't let a korov go machmas korov. What does it mean, korov machmas korov? Korov machmas korov means you don't let a relative of a relative. As the Gemara is going to say, as Rashi points out, the koton has a relative. Which type of korov we're saying, as we said before, is someone who's royally rush. So let's say it's his brother. Which brother? Paternal brother. Only paternal brother is Yerush's brother. I mean, not only if there is paternal and maternal, the paternal comes first. So you let paternal to go in. Paternal is the normal one who's supposed to be Yerush. Let's say the paternal brother is not available. Can you give it to, now, Shaila is, we're talking about Korban machmas korov, the maternal brother of the paternal brother. Right? So, you have a brother, you should not be Yerush. So I want to give it to a stranger, by a koton. As I was going to explain in a moment. What about someone who's not a relative of the koton, but he's the relative of the relative? You're not allowed to do that either. Because in all these cases, the korban may come and say, it really belongs to me. Let's see. You don't let a child to go to a nechosim of a captive, deal with obstacle. Maybe he's going to ruin it. Because a koton doesn't know how to take care of a field. Not even a korban machmas korov. We said the maternal brother or the paternal brother. Why really we don't do that? So that goes to stage number 2. That I don't allow a paternal brother to go in. Because a child doesn't know how to do a mechal. This brother may come and hold on to it and say, this is mine. This is how we divided it. This would never belong to the koton. The koton doesn't know because he was a child. He doesn't know to tie him. So the Gemara Rovo, Shvami no midarahuna, you see no. Chazaka doesn't work by a koton. This we're going to learn from Bo Basra. When someone goes into a field of his friend and he's there for 3 years, so then the koton can't come and protest. And the owner can't protest because you should have gone and you should have protested before. So if you are anybody who holds a field for 3 years, that's a raya that belongs to him. By a koton, there's no raya because you see over here the koton doesn't know how to protest. So the one in the Lametismal base, that field even if he became an adult. So Rashi says even if he's holding on to the field 3 years after he became an adult, it's still not a chazaka. Look at Rashi. Field higdil koton mishiyar toichel v'achla gimel shonim b'fanov mishiyar lo yav chazaka. Why? When he went into it, he was a koton. Lo yoda k'shigdil shem shalavi b'fiyach lemicha. Didn't know it to be Yechez, not Yechez. So the Lord is telling us over here that a field even if he becomes an adult, you still can't take away. It's still not a chazaka according to Rashi. The Rambam and the Rimigashi, there's a Rimigashi in the middle. They learn differently. They learn, it means if you have 1 year as a koton and 2 years as a koton, or 2 years as a koton, 1 year as a koton, you don't add that to be 3 years. But if he held the field 3 years once the koton became an adult, so then it is a good chazaka. And it's a good chazaka because Once he became an adult, he should have known 3 years that he needs to come and protest. So the Achreim go into this. If you have 1 year as a katan, 2 years as a gadol, how can chazaka work? You don't have your 3 years. And what was even the Avram here? So you have here, the Ketzai speaks about, the Ketzai says that the tzad, someone showing how it works, we're talking about that if for 2 years ago the 1 year as a katan joins together like by miyum. I mean, like a person, like a woman who got married before the age of 12, she can be moiche. If she's not moiche, so retroactively kedushin work. Similar here, we say you have 3 years of chazaka. So that's a discussion here in the Rishonim. When it says a filu yigdil, doesn't mean a filu yigdil and he held on to it for 3 years. Or filu yigdil means that he has 2 years, he has a partial as a kata, partial as a god. We're talking about only a paternal brother. But a maternal brother, they're going to know what to say. 1 second, why are you holding the field that belonged to the father? You're not a son of the father. And even when we talk about a paternal brother, we're not talking only by land. Talking about houses where people live, it's not a problem because the neighbors will know. They'll say, what? We heard the rumor this house belongs to the katan. Even when we talk about land, not talking about that. If meaning they didn't do a shtar chaluk, Rashi says. Will be a kurim. So in other words, more says the only problem is that maybe the brother will take over the field. Nobody's going to know about it. It's more of a loy. It's not true. Doesn't matter if it's a paternal brother, maternal brother. Doesn't matter if it's land or houses. It doesn't matter if there's a shtar or not. We don't take the risk. By a katan, we don't let a brother go in. If he's a katan. Because the brother may say it's his to begin with. And even if it's a maternal brother, as Rashi says, could be there's nobody else to be Yerush, he's the one Yerush. And more than that, he could say they didn't belong to the father, belong to the mother. Nobody's going to know to time against it. Says the Gemara, Ayi Safto, the Habilo, the Gemara goes into a story. Ayi Safto, there was an old woman. She had 3 daughters. She and 1 daughter were captured. The other 2 daughters, so there's 3 daughters. Okay? You have the grandmother and daughter 1 were captured. Who's left? Daughter 2 and daughter 3. Daughter 2 passed away. She has a child. And you have daughter 3. Now the child is a katan. What should we do? Should we let daughter 3 to take over the field as a karev of a shavish? She's the relative of the mother and sister number 1. So 1 second, maybe the grandmother died. If the grandmother died, it's split equally by 3 to the 3 daughters. Daughter number 2 died belongs to her daughter. It's her son. The son is a katan. You don't let a relative go into a katan's field, as we just learned. Maybe you give it to the child. Maybe it's something like that. We learned that you don't let a katan go into a captive's field. So what do? What should we do? Half you give to the sister. Why? Because we want to. If the mother and the daughter that were captured died, so there's only 2 daughters left. It's half to them. Half goes to daughter 2, half goes to daughter 3. Daughter 3 gets half. If they didn't die, so you let daughter 3 to go in as a karev, as a relative of the grandmother. The other half that we don't know, it may belong to the child, it may not. So, and you cannot, if it belongs to the child, you can't let the sister go in there. If it doesn't belong to the child, if the grandmother's still alive, you don't let the katan go in. So you put up a tropos. Because we allow so what do? So we put in because it says to Abai no, because let the tropos to take half, you don't take the whole thing. You know? right? So we say it's a migo already at the basin, or appointing a patropos for the part that belongs to the katan. So now we say that patropos will take over also the part that belongs to the sister. So says the Gemara, Shamu the Yeshiva Safto. Then they heard that the grandmother died. But we don't know if the sister died. So says the Gemara, Omar by Tilto, a third, Yavinu lo lachos. That's the third goes to sister number 3, that's clear. Because once the grandmother died, each one of the daughters is inheriting a third. So sister number 3 gets a third, that's clear. Another third we give to the child. Again, for sure he got it because the grandmother died. So sister number 2 got third. She's passed away. So you give it to the child. Now I have 1/3 that belongs to sister number 1, but I don't know if sister number 1 is here or not. So what do we do? Yavin danko, half of that. The danko means a 6. So you take the third and divide it into 2. 1/6. Yavin lachos. You give it to the sister number 3. Why? If sister number 1 died, so sister number 3 inherited half. If sister number 1 did not die, she goes in as a cover that goes to the property of one who was captured. The other 6, the other half of the field that belongs to sister number 1, that you can't let the child go in because maybe she didn't die, and you don't let a katan go in Yechez. But mitzat it could belong to the katan. So you can't give it to the sister because you don't let a Karev take the field of a katan. So what do we do? We put up a chopos. He says, no. Once you already have a chopos being appointed, and he's appointed for 1/6, you're already giving the entire third of sister number 3, and you'll take care of it until things will clarify. So the Gemara, my basic, so my basic had a brother who came from Yechez. As I was going to say in a moment, my basic was a gaver almo. He was a difficult person to deal with. He was violent. So comes the brother, tells Mary, I'm your brother. Give me half of the properties. I don't recognize you. Also, he came from Rabbi. He's saying good. Yosef recognized his brothers. They didn't recognize him. He came without a beard, and then he grew a beard. So it doesn't recognize you. It's normal not to be recognized. Well, if we have a moment in the end of the shir, we'll go back to this in a moment to understand the case of Yosef. It could be a brother doesn't recognize the brother. He says, go bring Edim that it's your brother. I have brother Edim. Says, I have Edim. They don't want to come. They're afraid because this guy is a violent person. He may hurt them. So he tells Rabbi Isaac. He tells him, Zil art, I say, go bring Edim, it's not your brother. Some Rishonim learn, at least Rashi, they go bring the same Edim. The same people that he says he has, go bring them and tell them to testify that he's not your brother. Why? Why should bring a raya? I'm in the field. He says he's my brother. He should bring a raya. So says Rav Chizdo, yes, that's why I'm judging you. And all your friends who are violent. You're violent? You're a violent person, people are afraid of you, so you get punished and you need to bring rayas to what you're saying. So he says my basic, what are you doing? We have 18. The 18 don't want to come, they're afraid of me. If they're afraid of me, they will come and testify that it's fine. So what did you gain? Only time to loyalty. To come and testify on your behalf and lie, they're not going to do. They don't want to testify on behalf of the brother. Okay, that's one thing. But testify on your behalf, that's really too much to ask. To lie and say that it's yours when it's not yours. At the end of the day, the Edim did come and say, yes, this is the brother Marvesa. So the brother says, okay, I have 1/2 of the fields, and also all the benefits he did. He planted orchard, he planted fields of trees. I want part of that too. He says, he tells Rav Chizdo, he says, good. You have older boys and young boys, and the older boys benefit and enhance the property. You have to split it. Everybody gets half and half. You don't say, well, I worked at it, so I'll get the extra benefit. You just take the original value of the land. You have to split it equally. You have to split it. How can you compare it? There, the Gedolim know that there's younger kids. So what are you working on the field? Elamah, the Gedolim says, we're going to invest in the field. And we know when we're going into this, so we're going to split it with the Ketanim. We're moichel. Here, Rabbi basically did not know about the brother. So when we got the Milsu Mataka made Rabbi Ami, the story came from Rabbi. We said, Shomim Laim Kors. Meaning we said before, if someone goes into someone else's field, a shavui, you look at him as a sharecropper, he gets a piece. Here, of course, you'll give him half. The half that he was mishbeach. The other half, you don't just give the kotel. The other half, you value him as a sharecropper. So I drew all the kameda of Chizdo, they brought in front of Chizdo, back. He says you can't compare it. There, by Shavui, Beis Din allowed to go in. He's a more than Karlan, Yechez. Here is not B'shus. Here, he's going in other words, nobody knew there was a brother. We assumed there's no brother. He didn't. Nobody allowed him as Beis Din to go in. And in addition, there's new details that we're saying now. The brother was a katan. The staff were allowed to go in. They didn't tell him the full story. There was a katan, and he's right. He should have gone into here, and therefore he has to split half and half with the brother. Now, we shouldn't discuss what's the rishus. Just to mention this, Rashi says over here the rishus. The Gemara says over here, rishus Beis Din, right? Rishus Beis Din, we didn't call it Yechez. Other Rishonim have a little different explanations. What is the rishus? And that according to the Ramban, we talk about that there's rishus of a chayri. Right? In other words, people know when he's going in that there's other people involved. And here he went in without knowing other people involved. So the question is it a svar right to give him more or to give him less? According to Rashi, it's a svar to give him less. He can go in with rishus. According to the Ramban, it may be a svar that you don't want to split the same way. So the Gemara says this is not the same case. And the Gemara basically states, Machshava the Gemara is that he will have to split it with his brother. Just to mention one line, and this will end. When Gemara says that Yosef went without a beard and came with a beard. So the first way to point out and ask, many times you see people without beards, and then you see the blue beard is still very easy to recognize them. So we marached it in the Machshava and the Daf, but just to mention, what before should go out is the beard doesn't mean the beard. It means that a person sometimes should change who he is. You have a person, the brothers knew that there is Yosef. They didn't know who is Yosef Atzadik. They didn't know what is Yosef Atzadik. They thought he's a nobody. They didn't realize he's a king. Bava Chasiv Zakar means he came back as a new person. He's a king. They didn't realize his potential. So that's what it means also here. Rabbi Yitzchak means, he said, I don't recognize you. He says, I didn't recognize you. He was a nobody. He was a little kid. Now he comes back and he has to fear. He's suing you in Beis Din. So he doesn't recognize this person. He doesn't recognize who the person is. Not only the source of the upon him, but the personality of the person. Sarah Gomer will stop over here. Have a wonderful day.